Okay guys, you've done all your sketching, you've done your bulletproof proportion drawing in Prismacolor or pencil or whatever you chose to do it in, and now it's time to get all that hard work onto your nice expensive charcoal paper. So there's a magic way of doing this, and it just involves some tracing paper or some newsprint and some charcoal. And there's a way to do it on lighter charcoal paper, mid-tone like I've chosen here, or a dark, which I don't have a very dark charcoal paper, and I don't think a lot of you guys do also, or either, or whatever. But here we go. Alright, first I'm going to do this in dark charcoal. And what we're going to do is basically create our own carbon paper. I don't know if you guys know what carbon paper is, but back in the day it's a piece of paper coated with, well, carbon on one side where you can press on the other side and make an indent through the paper onto something else. So we're just going to make our own. I'm taking a piece of compressed charcoal and I'm coating the back side of a piece of newsprint because newsprint is cheap, and this is going to be a mess and you're just going to want to throw this out right afterward. You can use tracing paper, you can use, well, I wouldn't say drawing paper, but you know, a smooth paper, smooth and light paper if you want. All I'm doing, coating the hell out of it, just kind of nice and even. You know, I'm taking up as much space as I think I'm going to need for that. If this were just a little drawing, I would only do that area. You get it. I'm going to go ahead and rub that in so it's not too messy. Okay, I think you know where this is going. So the principle is we're taking the back side of that paper we've coated, and we're treating it like carbon paper. We're going to see if we make a little squiggle, if that transfers to the paper below it, and there it is. So I'm using just a dull Prismacolor pencil. You can use anything you want. You can even use a ballpoint pen if you want, but this is my choice, and it's dull, and it's, you know, it's sharpened like the stepdad version, not the long art version. All right, so I have my carbonized, let's call it, or my charcoal imprint paper. I'm setting that aside. I'm pulling out my nice, expensive charcoal paper that I plan on using. I've got my bulletproof proportion drawing that I'm going to imprint onto the charcoal paper, and I'm going to get a composition with this. I'm going to make sure that's about centered because that's where I want it on the paper. And I'm going to tape it all down, just on the top, because it's going to be kind of hard to get off later. Now I'm going to lift up and just slide that in there, that our charcoaled up paper. Now it's going to be kind of a mess, but that's okay, because this composition is largely dark. I'm just going to go ahead and start tracing over it. Let's see if it's working. There you go. So you just trace over your whole drawing, and it's going to magically appear on your expensive, nice charcoal paper. I'm pressing kind of hard, harder than I would be if I were drawing or sketching. And I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to fast forward this. There you go. That's junk. Now, so this part probably goes without saying, but if you've chosen a dark paper, all you're doing is going to do the same thing, but in white. Obviously, it's a little harder to see. But same process, blend it in a little. You'd have a darker paper, which I wish I had darker paper for this, but I don't. This is as darkest I have. It's a steel gray. The same process, you're going to sandwich your little charcoaled up paper. Kind of tough to see, but it's on there. Now, if this were, you know, a really dark paper, you could see it. But it's the same thing. Whether you're using white or black, you know, you're just transferring. It's pretty easy. So, now my drawing's transferred. All that hard work I did is there, and now I can get going on my values. Start blocking in my values. So that was transferring. Oh, boom.